Okay, I'm back for some more paper dyeing or paper alterations. So I've already skipped a couple steps, sorry, but we'll go through it. So this is the lined paper and copy paper I started working on. Some of it's on the floor over there drying. So this paper I have already, this has been dyed, the edges have been inked, and it has been stamped. But we're going to do some more work on this stuff. And then this one has been dyed, some stamping, and then the edges have been deckled. I didn't show that step because I was just working and I didn't record everything I should have. But basically I paint the edges with water and then rip them off all the way around. Those need some work still too. And there's some pages drying on the floor. We started. Oops. Let me get those real quick. So these are drying. So the edge has been cut. It's been inked. Water added for the ink to kind of disperse, and some wrinkles added on, and those are on the side drying. Okay. So we're going to work on some of this. This is coffee spray. I have some dye left over from paper dyeing, and it's in here. I have some water, a brush, some distressing inks here. The two colors I'll be using mostly. I have a third color. Not super fond of, but it's there. So I just kind of look at each page and decide what we're going to do. So this edge needs some attention. So let's work that. I noticed my camera was shaking a lot earlier. I should move the camera to my other desk so it's not on this table while I'm working, but we'll get to that. So this one I had already started in that bluish color, so let's continue on. It's called Weathered Wood Distress Ink. So it's a lot of handwork. I'm going to do a little bit here so you can see a little bit of a before and after of the edge. So I'm not sure if you can see that. Let me look at the camera. Okay, so you can see where I put the color on and there's no color there. So I'm going to go ahead and put color on all the way around. Oops. No, damn, it's sticking my dauber in that water. I know it. On this lined paper, it takes the most work to distress because it is so flimsy. And I have tried several ways to try to stiffen it up and get a better hold of it, but it is really difficult. I don't have very strong hands. I actually have a bit of a hand issue, but we make it work. I just kind of scrub the paper basically. Just keep putting ink on my dauber. And I know to put more ink on it when the color starts disappearing here on the paper. So my color's getting light, so I daub, add more color. Okay. So color all the way around. I'm not worried about this straight edge because that's going to go attached to another page inside the book. That will make sense later. Okay. So now I'm going to try to get some of these wrinkles with a bit of ink on. See that? It's kind of faint. I'm not sure how well it's showing up on camera, but you'll be able to see it when you see the book in your hand. Okay. And then we'll go ahead. Actually, I think I'm going to add some brown to the edges. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I was outside burning some paper. I have some with burnt edges over here, and the smell making me sneeze. Brown here. And this doesn't have to be too particular, this brown, because I'm going to add water and it's going to move like watercolor. There's specific ways you're supposed to use these distress inks. I don't have a whole lot of knowledge about it. I'm sure if I actually spent time and learned the techniques, I could do a lot cooler stuff, but I just kind of like winging it. I like doing whatever looks right at the moment. I don't really like following instructions or directions or whatever. I feel like if I do that, then my stuff will look like everybody else's, and I don't want that. So let's see here. Let's go for this brush. So here we go. So you know how watercolors, when you touch water to watercolors, the pigment kind of floats because it's such a fine pigment, it spreads on the water. That's kind of what happens here. It's basically like moving with water. And as it dries, and the way you dry it also changes things. So if I dry it with a blow dryer, it'll dry quickly and the color won't move very much. But if I let it dry natural, the color has more time to spread out into the fibers and do more things. Alrighty. Okay, so that one looks manipulated enough. Doesn't look great now because it's all wet. I'm just going to throw that on the floor to dry. Bye. Next. Okay, I'm going to do this one in a black. What kind of edge is this? Did I cut this with scissors? I might have. So I have scrapbooking scissors. And they're meant to make these cute little edges, but I'm not looking for cute little edges, am I? No, we're not. So what I'm doing is I get the scissor. Let me just kind of show you. So this one has this edge. I'll show you what it's supposed to look like and then how I do it. So it's supposed to look like that, you know, if you do it nicely. Okay, and you get this wiggly edge. This is how I do it. I kind of want it to look not looking good, but normally it comes out all jaggedy and ugly. So that's what I do with those. And I've got a bunch of them, so we do our best. Okay, then I lightly go over the wrinkles and creases. These papers are wrinkled now because I just spent about half an hour, maybe more, wrinkling these papers up in my hands. And I learned this method from actually watching how to use watercolor pencils. So you put a line of water where you want the color to spread to. Then you hit the color, and then it should go to where you want it and stop. It only moves on wet paper, right? Oh, it's so pretty. I hope it shows up on camera what's happening, but may or may not. Okay, that one's done. Now I have haven't worked these burned pages yet. So these pages are burned on. Oh, I didn't burn that edge. Oh, annoying. Okay, so I'll have to do that later. So 2 papers. So I'll show you how I work these. I showed you a little bit earlier, but roll, squeeze, stump the edges, unroll. I only need 1 roll. Yeah, we'll do more. The first time I ever did this, it was in 5th grade, and the project was, it was a school project, and it was to make a treasure map. We were reading about the great sailors, you know, Spanish sailors that traveled the world and collected treasures and stuff. Funny what they teach us in school, when we find out later they weren't great sailors. Some of them were, but not the Spanish. So I made my treasure map and I drew it, and I did it on a paper bag, and then I crumpled it all up and kind of colored on it with crayons, and I turned it in, and oh, my teacher was so impressed. She thought it was the best thing she ever did, and she showed mine as an example. I turned it early, so kids started showing up to school with their projects, and they copied the same thing I did. I should have been flattered, but I was kind of pissed. I was like, oh gosh, you guys just do your own thing. That kind of happens to me. People see you do something like, oh, that's a great idea. It's happened to me with my hair, makeup, clothes. I'm a trendsetter. But a lot of this stuff, I just do what feels good. Okay, so that's burned and wrinkled. So let's add the water. So I'm going to do the outline here. Okay, and then we're going to paint. Now that one definitely needs more color eventually, but that's step 1 on that page. So this one already has a little bit of yellowing on it I added. We're going to do brown now. Oh my gosh, I'm singing and I can't sing. My apologies. No, not apologies, because I'll keep doing it. I enjoy it. You don't have to suffer through. Oh man, that's if even if you watch those videos. God, I swear I don't know why I'm doing these sometimes. I watch other people's videos. A lot of other artists and crafters. Really enjoy watching other people's art processes. So my intent is that maybe somebody will find some interest or learn some ideas by watching things I do. You know, but a lot of these YouTubers are like super professional with their videoing and their editing, and I have no intention on being that great at editing and videoing. Okay, so next is this. I'm not sure what to do about this one. This is so good. I put this paper down in attempts so that you didn't have to see my grocery ads, but grocery ads works best. Sorry. Going back to it. Not sorry. It just absorbs water better. I'm wondering. No, I was going to try to do my watercolor pencils, but that color, it's just not enough pigment for me. Just not. to do this. This one looks like an old love letter somebody found crumbled up outside. Some ancient love letter. Not ancient. Abandoned. Okay, and this is coffee. I'm gonna go back, spray a little more. There we go. Okay, we'll do 2 more. Okay, so these are the deckled edges. These ones I did want to not add water, just add the dye. So we are browning this one. Because with the deckled edge, it's really pretty just to add the color to it. It takes the color so well. The softer and more frayed your edge, the better the ink absorbs. I guess we'll try the wet one. We'll wet one and see how it goes. Okay, let's see how that goes. Yeah, pretty. Alrighty, that actually is quite lovely. I like that one. Let's do one in black. Okay, this will be the last one I'm going to film just because I work so much faster when I'm not recording. Put my music on loud and I move faster and I don't have to worry about explaining myself or what I'm doing and why. I'm grateful I have an opportunity to share my processes, but I'm not used to it yet. This one's getting wet, so I'm putting ink on wet paper. I've done that before. Okay, so let's wet this edge. Oh yeah, super pretty. I hope you can see how the color's bleeding. I'll try to do it up closer. Okay, here we go. Can you see how the color's bleeding there? Get to this corner. Put some here in the middle. Add a little coffee to this one too. There's that one. Okay. Hope that was helpful. See you soon. Hey, so I'm back with Big Book. Today we'll be massacring this book. Oh, rolling pin, we'll get to that later. Just want to say up front, I really love books. I have a really big book collection, not for tearing apart, but I read a lot. I own personally about 400 books. I have in bookshelves all over the place. And because of my love for books, I love to use them in art. And it's sad to say that people don't use books as much as they used to. You know, everything's online. Everything. Even having an atlas seems silly when you can just look up maps online. However, I do have an atlas put aside just in case for the zombie apocalypse. Might need that one day, you know. So I'm going to begin deconstruction of this book because I got an awesome idea last night. Right before I go to bed, I lay down and my mind just starts going with ideas about art. I mean, it's constant. My mind is always like, hey, what about this? Hey, you can try this. Oh, you know what would be cool? Let's try mixing this together. We've never done this before. And oh, that'd be a cool design. And I actually have paper next to my bed and I'm taking notes when I'm supposed to be trying to go to sleep. That's how active my brain is when it comes to this stuff and other things in life. But like 50% it's art. So gonna start taking this book apart because one of my ideas I had last night is why don't I use some of the book pages in this book? They're perfect size, right? And some of them are pretty cool. And I'm gonna actually dye some of them and put them back in the book when I start making the signatures. And we will get to that today. I already have the dye ready. But first we gotta take this book apart. Make sure I'm framed. So this book is large and when I'm working it's like right here in the camera. You know, I got the camera as high as I can. But it might be a little odd to look at. Sorry about that. We're just going to get to work anyways. So this book, let me take a look at it, see how it's constructed here. Books usually have the same kind of materials they're made out of, but the difference in this is the spine and how that comes together. So you'll see the cover here, and this spine is a loose spine, which is only connected to the cover by these end pages. These are called end pages. They stick to the book cover, and these are called fly pages. They go between the cover and the actual book pages to protect the book pages. I believe that's the right terminology. I'm not, you know, as well versed in book terminology as, like, let's say Nick the Booksmith or something. You want to see somebody do some professional bookmaking. Nick the Booksmith, man, she is the one. Learned a lot from her. She's a bookmaker also. Okay, so I'm trying to cut this off. I'm not really worried about the spine. This book is too narrow. I'm going to use the covers, but not the spine. I will be making a new spine for my finished product. So this here is going to be paper, glue, and some fabric I'm cutting through. Let's see here. Did we get through? Not exactly. We can rip. There we go. Well, I can see where we're getting through. Love you, book. Thanks for your service. You're moving to your next phase of life, which is going to be functional journal and gorgeous art. Thank you for your life. Thank you for your substance. Thank you for being here. Hey, I love you, book. Love you. Thanks for being part of my world. You bring joy to me. And I'm sure you'll bring joy to whoever purchases this book in the future. Okay, so our pages are released. Spine on the inside. Looks like it's one piece of cardboard wrapped in some faux leather. Oh, look at that. And eventually we're going to decorate this. Cut this out. Might as well cut it out now. Cutting mat. Self-healing cutting mat. Make sure I don't go cut into my table. So I'm going to line this up here. And hold it there. It cut backwards. Oh yeah. Let's do it. And then one more for funsies. Make sure everybody's released from their spine. Oh, a little bit more. Okay. Nice book board. How can I do this? We'll do it this way. Hold ruler down. And this is just giving me a solid edge to cut next to so I don't cut into my book board. I'm not really worried about straight lines at this point. All right, spine is released. And we save this spine for some other piece of art. The Hammond World Atlas Superior Edition. Oh yes, quite superior. I'll have to agree. Superior quality. Book board released. 2 book boards. Ooh, there's a quote in here. What does the quote of the Atlas say? The earth serves me to walk upon, the sunlight to me. Wait. The earth serves me to walk upon, the sun to light me. Montaigne. Man, I massacred that quote. Okay, anyways. Back to book pages. Now I'm going to try to take these pages apart without ripping them because I would like to have the full spread. Let's check on the constructions. Most books are put together in signatures. Little packets, you'll see. I hope this is in frame. Let me take a look. Okay, yeah. So in here, you'll see. Come on, focus in there, buddy. See those little tiny packets in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like about 5. So you find where those divide. And it's either going to be the center or the edge of the packet. Oh yeah, that's the edge right there. So now that I got the edge, go along and see how it's put together. Okay, it is bound with string. So all I'm going to do now is go through and release these little strings. And then our pages will be free. Sorry, I'm focusing. Try not to cut through the paper, but also get the string. Oh yeah, so let's see, we're getting out somewhere. Getting somewhere here. All right, see that? Let me get my precision scissor. Precision scissoring. Boop. Precision scissors are super sharp, like a knife. And still pointed at the end. That's how I use my do my fussy cutting. And they're spring-loaded. Okay, I gotta put this down so I can work it better. I want you to see, but I gotta work it well. Don't want to ruin this. Releasing that string. String 2, 3, 4. I did hit some, but I missed some. Alrighty. So signatures released, and then look here. See the little strings that hold that book together. Books are made of paper, glue, and string, fabric, and cardboard. So now that this signature is out, let's find the center of the signature and open her up. See what we've been gifted from this lovely book. All right, here's the center of the signature. So the signature, yeah. Okay, and then you can see the little strings inside. Where's my tweezers? There. The strings. Okay, there's still some strings in there. Can I get them all out? One more on the back. Oh well. So let's see now. Bone folder to flatten these pages out. This is a bone folder. It's made out of plastic. The originals were probably made out of bone. But Amazon didn't have bone folders made out of bone, or else I'd get one. So I got plastic bone folder. Alright, so we are nice and flat. Last string. Got it. Tools aside. So here's our pages all released. Here we go. Released. Now they're just sticking together because some of the papers are pushed through to the back hole. So you just got pages snagging pages. Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Hey, isn't Salem in Massachusetts? Anybody know where Salem is? That would be cool to put in my witch hunting page. I'm looking for Salem. I want to say it's coastal. Nantucket, Barnstable, Wichita, Harbor. Oh man, guess what, y'all? I don't know where Salem is. There's Saline, Selena. Should probably know where that is. Very important place to a lot of people. I'll Google it later. Because, you know, instant gratification here. Gotta just know it, can't look for it. Alright, Minnesota. Okay, so they, look, pages. Ooh, big, big book pages that are gonna be dyed. Oh, look at that. Free. Okay, so I'm gonna finish releasing these book pages, and then I'll be back to say something else. Hey, so I finished taking the book apart. How about earlier I was looking for Salem in Kansas? Oh man, let me tell you how much I don't know about maps. Okay, so I found a map which contains the Bermuda Triangle, so I'm going to use this in the book. So Bermuda Triangle is from Bermuda to the coast of Florida to Puerto Rico. So bing, bing, boom. So we'll use that. Yay. And then so Kansas is what I thought was Massachusetts, but it's not. Massachusetts is on the other page. No, that's Michigan. Come on, Massachusetts. Where are you? Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Massachusetts and Rhode Island. So Boston, that's Massachusetts. Okay, gonna show my knowledge again here. Oh wait, let's use an atlas appropriately. So Salem, continue from the other side. So Massachusetts, Salem. Okay, E5. ¿Dónde está 5? Oh, right here. E5. That's not right. 5. E? Oh, yeah, there it is. Nope, I did it. Okay, I can find Salem. Haha. Go to the E, go to the 5. There we go. Lost it. There it is. Salem. So we're going to put this map on there too, because that held some historical significance to the family. Morticia's family. And then I'm just going to roll through these real quick, see if I want to keep anything else. Kentucky, Tennessee, Maryland, Iowa, Maine, Massachusetts. But I've been getting a bunch of other ideas by going through these maps. I got some cool pictures in here and some information about states or some stuff about Mexico. So thought it'd be neat to add those into some other books. My brain's always like, hey, what about this? Hey, what about this? I like these because they're black and white. Principal lands of the world, or islands, principal mountains of the world, longest rivers of the world. We'll use that. Oh man, some things I've never heard about. What is the azimuthal equidistant projection? The only projection in which every point is shown both at true great circle direction and at true distance from the center point. Wow. Man, whoever found that out and knows the science, good for you. Appreciate you. Respects to your knowledge and your learning and your interests. Someone's got to do it, and it ain't me. Okay, so there we pulled out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But these 3 are not going to be dyed like the rest of these. I am going to pull out some pages that I'm not going to use for their images and just dye them solid black for the function of the book. Because I was thinking, as I put lined paper in this book, it's going to be flimsy, and when you're turning the pages, I want to put stuff on it. The pages are going to get heavy as I create on them, so I want them to have some weight. So I'm going to dye these solid black and then put what I want to on them, just as a foundation base for these pages. Just because the book's so large, I have to do stuff like that to think about the engineering of it. I keep saying that, and it probably doesn't make sense now, but it will eventually. So Iowa, I don't think I'll use that in art. We'll save some Massachusetts and Rhode Island, yes. Maryland and Delaware, I don't think so. Maine, I don't think so. Maine, Minnesota, Missouri. I do want to say the California and a Texas, just because that's special to my own heart. My family came in through Laredo, Texas in 1912. My mother's family and my father's family the same year. They didn't know each other, but they came at the same year. Must have been some sort of event going on, but still pretty odd and cool. Nevada, New Hampshire, Vermont, New Jersey. Wisconsin. Been to Wisconsin. They are serious about their cheese. For real. Everywhere I went, they were trying to feed me something called cheese curds. I ate one. Yeah, I did. I ate one. It tasted like, instead of a mozzarella stick, it's like a cheddar cheese dipped and fried in their weird shape. So it's like a cheese nugget. Interesting, but I wouldn't be like, hey, get me some cheese curds. I gotta have those. Okay, let me see how many this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's plenty. Because I think my book's going to be 2 signatures of 10 pages each, folded in half. That's 20 both sides. It'll be 40 pages. So, this should be good. I think it said 10, right? So I'm going to go do these in die, and I will bring you with me so you can see 6, 7, 8, 9, 4. So you can see how black it's going to get. There's some world map. Oh, I didn't want to use these world maps. These are cool. There's like Italy in here. You know, big, awesome pictures of every country. Duh, it's an atlas, but gave me ideas. Maybe one more page. Introduction to maps. Yep, you're going down. Introduction to maps. Thank you for your service to the book. Alaska, Idaho. Okay, 11. Let's go dye some stuff black. Okay, I'm in my dining room set up for black paper dyeing. Super risky. High mess. So I'm going to just start dyeing, and I may forward a bit of this, like speed through it so you don't have to watch all of it, and then I will explain here and there. I don't know, I say that and I don't. I'm just going to start dyeing. Here we go. Eddie, did you pay $25 for the new Moana? Yeah. That's why he don't listen to you. Okay, you saw the big pages being dyed. Those are going to be entirely black. They're sitting in the dye. They will be there for a couple of hours. This is not a full black dye. This is going to be a lace edge technique. So I will show you how I do that. Talk about it just a bit before I speed through the rest. Put black, I always put dye on the bottom. Not a lot, that's too much. We don't want a full dye. This is more of a contact dye. Okay, so I will be using papers and these plastic placemats. They're plastic, and I have purchased them from garage sales specifically to do this technique. So here's how it goes. You put one down into the black. Just touching the glass. Then put black ink on, black dye on, and then a page. And these pages dye based on contact. So as they dry, the dye settles where it is in contact with the plastic, and when it dries, it leaves like a stencil of the plastic underneath it. I should have used a larger tray for this. Maybe I will switch over to a metal one. Right back. Okay, here's a metal tray that has more surface space. It had ash in it from last night's page burning. So let's go ahead and transfer. Yes, much better. Yeah, that way we have a full surface contact. Okay, then it goes plastic placemat, paper. Plastic placemat. And you know what? I do 2 pages. Back up. Second page. Because if I do page to placemat, it will get double printed on one page. And if I do a page in between, then I get more specific stenciling on each paper. So there we go. And then plastic placemat, die, page, die. These are some big dictionary pages I pulled from a massive dictionary I got in the States. A huge dictionary. I have several dictionaries. Little ones, big ones, medium ones, picture ones, old ones, new ones. I saved some for myself in case, you know, Google ever disappears. I have a dictionary. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, then plastic placemat. And I will continue on like this until I am finished. And then we'll go back to the room while these dry and work on some other stuff. Thank you for joining me for this.